Okay, it should be recording now.
Perfect.
All right, who wants to go first? We just want to start.
Sorry, I have one more question.
Yeah.
So it says listen and record their thinking in response to the questions in the table below.
What one are you
Are-
looking at? Part one.
yeah, are we just
So like under that first name here, I think my name will go there and you guys
Yeah.
type in there like, oh, she said this happened, this was the result kind of thing.
oh, so we're just jotting down notes of what you say, basically.
I think we just kind of jot down notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the other
Record, come
boxes, they
up with
all say different things.
probing questions to ask her after,
Yeah.
like about what she's explaining. I think.
Yeah. So you guys just
We can
jot
just
notes on what I'm saying and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Um, I hope I did this right.
Yeah,
So
me too. I'm like a little worried.
it's fine. We'll make it work. So my grade is second grade. Um, and I'm at Harrison Park Academy, which is like an inner city school. It has mixed culture, lower income families. Um, and then I don't know if I'm supposed to share this, but like the classroom expectations, it's like the class sits in rows. It's a teacher-led instructions, lots of I do, you do, we do instructions. Um, I don't know. I guess like the students stay in their seats all day, not a lot of movement happening. If they need to go to the bathroom, they raise their hand with their like fingers crossed as the symbol. Um, and then if they need to put work away, she does class dojo randomizer so that those rows get called so it's not like everyone getting up at once. I really don't know if I'm supposed to share this part. Um, The whole group lessons are guided instructions. Sometimes the teacher reads the problem and then have the students answer it on their own, or she'll read it and then she'll call on someone to answer the question. Um, okay. So I guess like my problem of practice, um, for my problem, I picked that I have a student who has big behavioral problems, and it happens at least 2 to 3 times a week, um, with his like episodes that he has. And most of the time it disrupts the class to the point where we have to stop the lesson and go in the hall to be safe. Um, One thing that really triggers it is not wanting to do the work, or if he can't do something that he wants to do, like for an example, it's popcorn Friday and he wants to go help with the popcorn, but he can't. He'll flip out over it. Um, let's see, what else did I say? Um, trying to One thing that like really triggers me is how they handle the episodes. So like the teacher will follow what's on the IEP or the behavioral plan, but usually none of it works. Tries, she's told to ignore it, because he kind of feeds off that attention. And then also given like his slime or Play-Doh or something to play with, go in his little apartment that he has, that's like tucked in the corner of the room. Um, but it just he just acts out more. Um, and then I guess the most challenging aspect. Sorry, I'm trying to like read this and remember what I wrote. Um, I guess the most challenging aspect is also like how it gets handled because he'll get taken out of the room and he comes back a few hours later and he's like, "Oh, I had so much fun playing with shaving cream in the principal's office." So I feel like they're kind of rewarding his behavior to try to calm him down, but really in the end it's not really doing anything because he reacts that way because he knows, well, he might know that, he gets to do something fun instead of doing the work. Um, And then I guess the feedback that I would want on it is really like, what do you do in this situation? Like, if you have a hard time ignoring him, um, oh, because they tell me not to interact with him because I'm only there for a short period of time and they don't want me to, or they don't want him to attach to me. But like, what am I supposed to do in that situation when he talks to me? Because I'm not the type of person to just ignore a student if they're coming up to talk to me. Um, but like also I think wouldn't a new face help a little bit because maybe like, you know, even if it's for a short period of time, you can like get that behavior to stop. I don't know. Because I feel like if you bond with the students a little more, they listen and they might like find someone new to find, what am I trying to say? They'll find someone new to find calming if they're like in a bad mood or something. So I don't know. That's kind of that was all over the place, but that's my problem with practice.
Okay. So I just wrote down a few questions for that. Um, so do we all go and then we move on to the next part? Like we all share our problem of practice?
I think so.
Yeah, let's just do it that way, and then we can kind of just once we have everyone's saying, we can just go down the
Okay.
answer.
I can go next. So I'm in a kindergarten classroom at West Michigan Academy of Environmental Science, and I think the school as a whole, it is a good school culture. It's a charter school. I'm in a class with 22 kindergartners, which is a lot, and my teachers said that this is like one of the most difficult years she's had solely because there's 22 kindergartners in the class and she normally has 17 or 18, and that's just much easier to manage, like for classroom management wise. I really enjoy the classroom and I really like enjoy the students there, very chatty, which makes it very difficult, like I said, to manage and to get through the lessons like in a timely matter. Um, because I also just get like easily distracted and it's hard for me to fully focus on like teaching a lesson if there's like one of the tables is chatting about something, then I just automatically gravitate towards them and want to be like, table one, like, why are you chatting so much? When like, then well, what did you call it? I don't even know. My just like, I don't know. I just get distracted. Anyways, that's like to kind of set the scene of a class. One of the main things, my like problem of practice, I guess, the main thing I've been struggling with is finding the best way to like get the students to stop talking and fully engage with the lesson when naturally they're not necessarily going to want to do the lesson. Like it's so easy to get off task and chat. I noticed that like when my mentor teacher does the lessons, they're still chatty, but not nearly as much as when I'm leading the lesson. And I know that there's like a difference in me versus her. And I've tried my best and she's done her best to like make it like an even playing field as well. But like kind of like you said, I'm not there all the time, so it's not totally normal. We have like our like attention grabbers, like class, yes, yes, and different things, but it'll stick for maybe a week and then they'll go back to kind of their normal whatever. And it's just kind of difficult for me to reach all the kids when I'm distracted by like one or two of them. And I know that that kind of just takes something you learn with time and like trust with the students, I guess, like learning their behaviors, what works with some, what doesn't work with others. Um, I think something kind of going off of that, something I need to try and include more of is like positive reinforcement, like highlighting like how good some kids are behaving during a lesson, like, oh, look how good so and so is doing. Like I maybe we should try and model him or whatever, instead of kind of just thinking or singling out like the kids who are doing it wrong, like try and singling out the kids who are doing it good. And then hopefully those kids would model or want to model them in a sense. I guess for the specific feedback, just like feedback on how I can keep them more on track and less interested in all their neighbors. And Sorry. I think another thing is that like my mentor teacher, she's super nice and she's super bubbly, but she's also very strict. Like she really has high expectations for them and they know that like if they're not on task, like she's probably gonna get upset with them. And she doesn't have a problem pointing out the students if they are being bad, like to the rest of the class, which is something that I'm like not totally comfortable with. Like not yelling at kids, but like, you know what I mean? Like raising my voice at them per se or singling them out. But yeah, it's mostly just like distractions. And I just am having a hard time finding the best way to go about it. So yeah, that's
Jeez.
that.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Um, I guess for mine is kind of the same as Katie's, but I'm in a kindergarten classroom. There's 23 students in it, and I'm at Allendale, Early Childhood Center. There's my mentor teacher actually also said this is like one of her most difficult classes, but it's more like because of the behaviors. Like she has so many different behavior stuff with the kids. So, and we have like a student in there that's like supposed to be in young fives, but like his parents didn't want him to be in young fives. So we have like a very immature, I don't even know how old he is. I think he's like, what, the kids are 6. He might be like just turned like 5 or something. So he's like a very young um kindergartner. Um, for like attention stuff, she usually uses a bell. And then the kids put up like a thumbs up, which works pretty well, but then like there's those kids that it's not doesn't work as well, I guess. We have a kid that has really bad ADHD and she like when we do carpet time, she doesn't have him sit at the carpet. He sits at like his table and he can kind of like roam around, but he still listens. It's weird how well he can listen and like gain all the information, but he's like walking around or playing with the fidget or something. Um, I guess that's a little bit. They're very bad at transitions. So yeah. Anyway, I guess during like independent work or like center time, um, they like to she always reminds them to do like a voice level of 0, but they always like to talk during those times and they hardly get any work done and she has to remind the students like over and over again because they can see like their progress or something on iReady is what they work on. So, there's that. I guess I've tried like reminding the students of like the expectations because we have like this expectations poster thing. Um, and then I try to like model it sometimes for them, I guess. And then I also like walk around during center time or when they're doing independent work and I try to give them little reminders then like we should be working on this or X, Y, and Z. Always try to be encouraging to them as well. Um, I guess the most challenging part is helping them stay focused while also supporting like those who need that extra help because we have a lot of those in the classroom. So I feel like balancing that out is kind of difficult. And then I guess for feedback, it'd probably be on strategies for helping, especially like kindergarten kids, like stay engaged during independent work or like their center time. Um, yeah, I guess that's it. I feel like it was kind of what Katie said in a way, but
That
I feel
must
like
be the
that's
theme,
yeah.
like worst behavior class this year because that's how mine is. Like we have 7 kids with ADHD and like it's
Yeah.
just insane and that's just sounds like the theme of this
Mhm.
semester.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what are we supposed to do? Are we just reading through like
Yeah, I was looking at the next box. It says, will this teacher candidate's decision at this point help or harm children? I don't really understand what like it's trying to
I
say.
don't,
Hang on, I need to go grab something real quick. But I can still hear you.
Maybe it's saying
I don't,
like what we're doing now or like what we are trying to do to remind the kids or to help or whatever our problem with practice was. Like, are we, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that made sense.
Will this teacher's
Like,
Oh, wait, I think it's saying, will this teacher candidate's decisions at this point help or harm the children? So I think like we're supposed to say
we're
like
not harming the children. I
no. So I would
feel
say
like it's just like
yeah, I would just say
we're the ones getting harmed and the kids are just like doing their
yeah.
action. Like,
Like I was just gonna say help because I feel like we're always trying to help.
yeah,
I feel like the things that we're doing aren't really harming the children in any way. I feel like it's more us helping them and being them there for them, I guess.
yeah, that's
Is
what
that
I
like what
would say. I'm just gonna say I think it's it's helping them and over time will improve the situation. I don't know if that's correct, but that's no one's getting harmed, so that's not correct to put.
Yeah.
okay. Should we move on to the next
Yes.
step two? Take turns asking their clarifying, probing questions and share your thinking about their problem in practice.
Notes during peer participation.
So
Okay.
now, like,
I think this is where we ask like the questions and then the question
the
like I
person takes
ask,
notes.
yeah, you guys take notes of what our questions are because you're gonna like get feedback.
Yeah.
So do we
Okay.
want to go in the same order that we went
Yeah,
in?
that's fine.
Okay. So then I'll ask you guys your questions. So I guess Katie
Or wait, wait,
or
should we ask you your questions
yeah,
first?
yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Like, we should probably do one at a time to make it a little easier.
Yeah. Uh, okay. So then
Okay.
you guys share your notes.
Okay. So the first question I had, you talked about the one kid specifically. Is he like, or he or she, the only kid in the class who like has outbursts like that? Or are there other students who do, or is are they the main one?
He's the only one who like really has a parapro and has like where he gets breaks to leave with a parapro or the parapro comes in to be with him or if the behavioral specialist comes in the room, it's all mainly kind of for him because he's like the most extreme, if that makes sense. Like no one else really has
Yeah,
the support that he has because he's like the highest up there.
that's fair. Um, and then another question I had is like, you said how it's like a couple times a week that he has like these big outbursts and has to leave or they have to stop the lesson. So is it like disrupting the other students like a lot, or are they kind of normalized to it at this point where it's kind of like whatever? Or is it
Um,
more like distracting to the teacher?
it's a mix of everything. So the students are all used to his behavior and they know when he's acting up to stay in their seats and the teacher will try to teach the lesson over what he's doing, but she also has to stop and text the whoever it is she's trying to get a hold of. So she's always got to pause so she can text the people, but then she'll go back to trying to teach. But if he starts walking around the room hitting people, um, flipping desks, throwing items, then we have to stop what we're doing and go out in the hallway. So that way, because the main goal is to keep the kids safe. So, um, it's a mix of a little bit of everything, which is sad.
Got it. Yeah, that sounds difficult. I don't have any kids like that in my class where they're like violent in a sense. Um, it's more just like vocal. They're just like they just
Yeah,
are
no,
sassy or
it,
talk back or
he he starts off with like either screaming or just trying to make a disruption, but sometimes if it just escalates, like the other day he took the stapler off the teacher's desk and was shooting staples. Like he wasn't shooting them on people, but he was just walking around pressing it, and that could have,
yeah.
led to injury. And it's it's a lot. Today was actually a really good day.
Oh,
So,
that's good.
Good.
but yeah.
Mm. Were those all your questions?
I had one more. It was just that I was just gonna say, like, you said you didn't know exactly what to do. Like, you don't know what you're supposed to do in those situations. Like, what exactly do you do? Like, do you do the same thing every time, or do you take them into the hall, or like what? Like,
You
I it's
like
difficult
the
in
teacher
your
overall or me personally?
you personally.
Me personally, because I'm a student teacher or whatever you want to call it, um, I kind of just try to sit back and watch the other students. So if he starts going towards the other students, I'll like protect them in a way. But because I'm not an actual teacher or anything, I don't want to overstep and do the wrong thing. That could get me in trouble. Um, because really you can't like touch the kid, because
Yeah,
backfire on you. So I try to let the teacher handle it the most. I just feel like I'm an extra pair of eyes, and if maybe he starts to throw something that I'm near, maybe I can try to stop it, but I try not to step into it because I don't want to get myself in trouble.
that's fair. That's all the questions I had.
Okay. Feel like you said most of what I had, but I did have one other one, I guess. You mentioned how they told you to to ignore him and to like just like not say anything to him. Um, have you I don't know if you might have mentioned this, but I was probably typing when you did. But have you like asked your mentor teacher if there's like anything else that you could do um while he like comes up to you or anything else to like help in a way, I guess, if that makes
Um,
sense?
a little bit. So, I kind of mentioned in the thing, I feel like their opinion has changed because everything's changing every day. But they originally were
Mhm.
like, don't talk to him, because we don't want him to get used to relying on you or anything. But like yesterday, for an example, the behavior specialist was in the room, and I actually went out in the hallway to do an assessment with him, and it went really well. And she told me some of the things that they did that day to try to get him back on track. And one of those things was doing a 5-minute timer.
Mm.
Be like, oh, like we got through this 5 minutes, let's get through another 5 minutes kind of thing. And um, he started acting up, and I was like, oh, like let's do our 5-minute timer until it's time for your break. And that got him on track. But my mentor teacher is kind of like, why are you doing that? Um, you know, you shouldn't have all
Mm.
your attention just on him and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I just like never really know how much to help with. Like I want to work with him because she's trying to teach, so I feel like I should be able to help a little bit, but I'm still doing stuff. But
Mm.
I don't know, like it's kind of a hard situation because sometimes I get like in trouble for focusing on him because she's like, you need to be focusing on everyone. But at the same time, I'm also trying to not have him like break out so that we can keep doing what we're doing kind of thing.
No, that makes sense.
So it's all just a
Yay.
little bit of everything. Whatever
Yeah,
happened that day.
yeah. You're doing great.
Ugh, 11 more days. All right. I don't know if someone else wants to go first real quick because I'm trying to type up some of the like things you guys asked real quick. So I
Yeah,
don't,
I can.
Okay.
Um, so is I asked now questions for Katie?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so one of the questions that I had was, um, because you said that your class is like super chatty. Um, does your mentor teacher like give students who listen well or like participate or anything like that, like a little prize or like a reward type thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, she doesn't give like prizes, but we do
Mm.
table points where it's just like tallies on a board, and when they get 5 tallies, they get to have a Skittle. That's their reward. So
Oh.
like each morning, it's like they check like when we have like our morning meeting on the rug, if their chairs are pushed in and their like tables are cleaned up, they get a table point for that. Like if they go back to their seat and their workbooks are out in a timely manner and they're sitting there quietly, like, oh, table one looks good, like I'll give them a table point. So like they give like individualized like prizes, I guess you could say then, but there's no like reward system individually. I think it's just sometimes she'll point them out and say, oh, so and so is being such a great listener, like, and then everybody will like draw their eyes to so and so, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's the only prizes, I guess you could say.
Mm.
But they do
Okay.
like they love to get their Skittle. Like when they get 5, they're all like, yes. So I think we could like utilize that a little bit more. Like I think it'd be
Yeah.
difficult for individual students, but it'd probably work. It's like something to
Mm.
think about, I guess.
Yeah, because I know my mentor teacher, like, she has this trampoline in her in her classroom.
Totally.
And yeah, and she'd be like, all right, so and so go take 10 jumps for doing this. And then we have these things called like a Falcon ticket that they put in like their bin. And then they like add on every Friday, the principal like picks out names from every classroom and they get a prize or something like that. So they always try to be on like their best behavior, or we have like these possum things, which are like pot like um dog paws. And like if they
Okay.
do good for a sub or if like they clean up in time after playtime, like they put that little thing in there and if they get a certain amount, they get like a treat for like a pizza party or something like that. Um
Okay.
yeah, so I feel like they're always looking out for that. So maybe I know that you said that your teacher does the Skittles thing, but maybe something like
We
that.
do, I forgot, we do have, they're called Eagle Bucks,
Oh yeah.
but it's like it's online and it's like then so
Oh.
technically yes we do have that and then it's like the school store comes around but I
Mm,
think she could probably utilize it more like it's
yeah.
usually like she'll do it maybe once a week like oh I'm gonna give Eagle Bucks to the kids who are doing this or like usually when kids go to specials or like if they get pulled out for ELL or whatever like speech therapy like they'll get points from that from those teachers but she forgets to do it like I think she could utilize it more. I literally
Mm,
forgot if that Eagle Bucks were a thing. So
yeah.
Can
So I
I
thought,
mention?
technically is, but
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah.
I was just gonna mention something about the Bucks thing because that's like what my teacher does. Like we're told if he's having an episode, walk around the room and put tickets on the desk of the students that are doing what they're supposed to do. Because like that can also help him be like, oh, I want a ticket. I should stop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't stop him from doing anything, but it helps keep the other kids calm and be like, oh, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So like
Yeah.
seeing those tickets verbally sometimes help too. That's weird that it's only online.
Mm.
Yeah, they hear like a little like cha-ching and they'll be like, "Oh my God, Eagle Bucks." Like when she like even gives them.
That's kind of cool.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was like the only, I mean, I guess I'll ask this one. Um, have you like ever asked like your mentor teacher what she likes to do to keep them like engaged while she's like doing something? Or like maybe ask her like what you could do while she's doing something and you're like walking around the room and trying to keep them. Does that make sense? Like trying to keep
What,
them.
like when she's teaching like what I should do
Yeah.
or like vice versa? Yeah, she does a good job. Like I said, kind of tried to explain she's
Mhm.
super nice. It's not like she's a strict teacher, but she just like is able to like get like loud in a sense where she's like, okay, like we're starting and I'm gonna start without you. Or like if you're not listening, or like they'll have to sit on the bench at recess. That's a big thing. Like so and so's
Mhm.
talking, okay, you're gonna have to sit on the bench at recess for 5 minutes, and then everybody else usually gets in line. I'm just like not comfortable doing that yet. So like if I'm teaching myself, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, Paisley, like you're on the bench for 5 minutes. Like I just don't feel like I have that authority yet. Where like I probably could, and like, but she just does it anyways. Like she'll just be like she'll overhear it when if I'm teaching, like she'll say, Paisley, like you're on the bench for recess, where
Mhm.
rather than me saying it, if that makes sense. Like
Oh yeah.
she'll still take initiative over me when it's needed. But
Hmm.
like when she's teaching, like I do, like I walk around her. I there's a kid with autism in our class, so most of the time I'm just seated next to him and I'm trying to like keep him calm and engaged in the lesson for the most part. Um, but when they like do get off track, like she's big about like she will just call them out, and then most times like they will stop, like if they're being super chatty.
Mhm.
So that does work. It's just I'm just not like that comfortable doing that yet.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like the biggest problem. Like the things that they do respond to, I'm just not very good at. So I'm
Mhm.
working on it.
Okay.
But yeah.
No, me too. Me too. But yeah, that was all I got for yeah.
Okay, perfect. Um, okay, so mine's kind of going off that last question you were just talking about. Um, I don't know, like, it's not really a question, but it's kind of just because it's something I'm working on too, because my class likes to talk a lot. So like I understand. So I'm just kind of saying something that my mentor teacher told me, but she
Hmm.
told me, like, don't be afraid to use your voice or show them that you're
Yeah.
upset because it does, you know, give them that point of view of like, oh, like I actually upset you because they saw me cry one time because they like completely made me upset. And she was like, let them know that show it because, they realize like they messed up and they'll learn from it. And then also like, because I'm the same way, I don't like to be like, you're going to sit out for recess because it feels just mean and like it's not my place to say. But it does help, I've noticed, if you say it because it shows them who's in charge. And so like that will help them maybe like stop talking like over you while you're doing your lesson or whatever. Because then
Yeah.
you see like, oh, like she has authority. But like I understand
Right.
I have the same issue.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's what she's told me too. It's like you, especially like when I've been observed, like when she knows like with like our teachers are coming in to observe, she's like, your biggest thing is gonna be like you have to like don't be scared to call them out, or like your biggest thing is like you need to have them listening, and it's hard to do. And she's like, and it's taken me, she's been a teacher for I think 7 years. She's like, I'm still learning new things. So I'm like, I think it's an ongoing thing. We're just gonna have to
oh yeah.
keep doing. And she's also said like yeah, I said this is her most difficult class, but she's like almost everything I've done in the past like hasn't really worked for them. So she's like, I'm also trying, like we're constantly doing new things in our little classroom. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, she always does say, like even this morning, she was like, it's not fair to the other kids when like I have three kids who are making me very crabby. She's like, I'm a crabby teacher right now because a few of you are making bad choices, and like the other kids don't deserve to have a crabby teacher because of your actions. And I was like, that's kind of good.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think those are good. Anyways,
Oh no, that's good. I guess like another question is just um do you like use the same response as she does when you tell them to stop talking? Or do you try to like say your own things? Like, I don't know. Like if they're talking
I
over
try, I
some.
I think I do like both. I think I do things that she does, but then I think I also just naturally things will just roll off my tongue differently. Um, yeah, I think it's like a mix of both.
Okay.
Like I usually I just like I'm hearing a lot of chatter in here. Like I'm hearing a lot of voices and I shouldn't be hearing any or like God, now I can't think of anything I say obviously like off the top of my head. But I do try and like mimic what she does in a sense, but also sometimes I just do what I do and sometimes they listen to me, sometimes they don't. I guess I could try a little bit more to do like but also I feel like I shouldn't exactly do what she does because it's like I have to figure out then it's just unnatural if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like I'm like forcing it out. Um as for like like not disciplining them, but yeah, when they get chatty.
Yeah,
I
no.
think I do like have
I had a hard time
so
coming up with questions because I have the same issue, like of just
yeah,
they talk
yeah.
a
It's
lot
pretty
and
like redundant.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I think that's good.
Yeah. That was good. Okay, thanks. Let's
Yay.
see. Okay, one more. Lena.
All right. I can ask my questions first if you want to kind of type up.
I'm gonna type.
Okay. Um, where are my questions at? Okay. So for I guess your question was strategies to help them stay engaged during center time. Um, because I did a lot of center times in my pre-K class when I was working, and I was wondering, do you guys use like a timer to switch tables, or is it kind of just like they move at their own like pace whenever they want to?
So for it kind of depends on what we're doing. If we're like at the carpet and we're transitioning to like our tables, we have this code word that the top dog picks, um, that has like the digraph of whatever we're learning that day. So, my mentor teacher will say that to go back to their seats, and then other than that, she uses the bell or they just like know what they're doing, if that makes sense. So we don't have like anything like set for like transitions, which if they're bad at transitions, that's probably why they're bad at transitions. But
Even like if like are they assigned a center and then after a certain amount of time they move to the next center, or is it like freebie or free for all, whatever?
so for centers, we have a Monday, Wednesday group who are on computers, and the Tuesday, Thursday group will do like they will either do this like word hunt thing that my teacher puts like words on around the room and they have to like go find them and like write them and then turn that paper in. Or they're allowed to read, I think, or color, and then vice versa when those days flip.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're not really, I guess for like centers, they're not really transitioning into anything,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so then I guess like my next question or thing is, um, they're actually two separate ones, but do you guys like ever play music quietly, like while they're in their centers?
No, which honestly, I know when I'm in my classroom, I'm gonna play music like quietly and like the background, but I don't know why. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know why my mentor teacher doesn't. Oh, we also, she writes down certain people that we read with that aren't on computers. So they come and they read with us.
Okay.
If
Okay.
that, yeah, I don't know if that had anything to do with anything, but um,
So,
yeah, I,
because I feel like if there was a little instrumental music in the background or
yeah,
something, just to be like, okay, like we're getting a little too loud. I can't hear the music.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
and also I feel like that keeps their mind busy rather than it being quiet and they're like, oh, let's talk. We're not doing anything. Let's talk. Nothing's happening.
mm,
Let's talk. Because I would do that, or in my preschool class we had a voice level light, and I don't
mm,
know like if you guys use something like this, but it was a stoplight. It had green, yellow, red, and you
Mm.
could set like the volume that you wanted it to be for. And if they got too loud, the yellow light would go off as like a little warning, like, oh, like we're getting to that level. And then the red light would go off when they got way too loud. And
Oh.
sometimes, like, yeah, sometimes that would help just because they would see, like, oh, guys, we're on yellow, we're like too loud, we need to bring it back down.
Mm.
And I'm sure there's like video, I don't know, but I don't know if a tool like that would maybe help just redirect them, a visual tool, or if you use something like that, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we don't use anything like that, so I feel like that would be a great idea.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's not that expensive, but um,
Yeah.
I liked it. We used it for a while and it did help. Some days it didn't. I mean, that's just how it goes, but it usually
Mm.
was pretty good. They'd be like, "Oh, guys, it's yellow. Like we need to
Yeah.
go down." So, I don't know, that's kind of like what I was thinking.
Mm. Perfect. I like that.
Okay, you kind of hit all my questions as well. The only one that I have besides those, you said that you model for your students, or like when you're not teaching, you try and model. Like, what exactly do you model? Or do you think like if transitions are the main issue, you could kind of model like, oh, we're done with this, like moving on to the next one. Like, what do you think? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how
Yeah.
have you modeled? I don't know.
I've never modeled a transition, but maybe I could like
Or you can
some
even like ask them like when we're transitioning, like what
yeah.
are like how should we be acting? Like what should we be doing?
Hmm.
You
I
know?
could probably yeah, I should probably start doing that during transitions. But really when I'm walking around and I guess modeling to me is like asking them like what are we supposed to be doing right now? Is that what we're supposed to be doing right now? Or um tell them like Miss Denning is my mentor teacher. I'll be like, did Miss Denning say that we're supposed to be doing this now? Or I'll be like, yeah, stuff like that. I feel like is
Yeah.
like my way of modeling. Now, obviously, I don't sit down with them and I'm like doing their like work with them, but I feel like those are kind of the things that I say to model. So maybe, sorry, my group, here's a group chat going off right now. Um, well, I lost my train of thought.
No, I get
Uh,
that. Just like prompting
yeah,
questions or like, yeah,
yeah.
trying to keep them on track in that sense. That's fair. That's
Mhm.
literally the only other I had. You asked literally my other three questions. So,
But I feel like doing it during transitioning, like transitions, or like giving them even like reminders before we do the transition is like a good idea.
hmm
I'm gonna
that's
put
just
that.
something we do in our class. Like, in addition to that's like, well, I was looking ahead to the bottom part of our section for
Mhm.
the next part. Step three, record additional suggestions, feedback, or resources.
Mm.
Something that some suggestions I have. In addition, so like we have a lot of tallies going on in our class, as I was saying. We have like tallies for Skittles. And then the other thing we have on the board, it's quick and quiet. It's like a tally with quick and quiet on top. And it's for transitions. And it's like if they have quick and quiet transitions, they get a tally. So like moving from, it's not necessarily during stations, but it's just like ELA to math or like math to lining up for recess, lunch back to their seats. Like then,
Mm.
if it's a quick and quiet transition, they get a tally. When they get five tallies, they get five stars in their jar. Do you guys know what that is? Stars in a jar? It's literally like a jar,
Oh
and they put
yeah.
these little plastic stars. So then when the jar gets full, they get a class prize, whether it's like PJ day, stuffed animal day, movie day, whatever. So that's like a big incentive. It's like, oh, if you remind them, like, let's see if we can have a quick and quiet transition so we can get a
Mm.
tally on the board. Like that tends to work. And I get like stations are probably, or centers are probably a little bit more difficult, but for just like normal, regular transitions, that works well for
Awesome.
my class at least.
I did I did type some of those down. So thank you.
Step three.
Um,
I was looking ahead while you were talking, and we kind of answered this next one. So like I don't know if we want to just kind of quickly bullet point some things
Yeah.
down in our things because it's literally just additional suggestions or feedback. Um, so it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That was my suggestions for Elena.
Yeah.
Suggestions of
Yeah,
they love the star jar though. Like
yeah, I was gonna
so
say
simple.
that was in my I put that in my like additional feedback to do like a bucket filler every time
Yeah.
they transition smoothly or are quiet during the group time or center time. They earn like that bucket filler. Um, because also I was gonna say, I guess just while we're talking about it, if you want to include it on your thing, I was thinking for the transition from the carpet to the table, um, if I don't know like how your classroom's set up, but if they're in like tables or groups or
Mhm.
whatever, maybe call them up by tables, or what we would do is the students who are sitting quietly, we would call them one by one, because that would
Mhm.
just also help the traffic so they weren't all just up and running at once. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you guys do that or not, but
She does it sometimes.
okay.
Like, do we have like table numbers?
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll do table numbers, or like on the carpet, she'll sometimes do like um we have like squares and there's like a row with like different colors. Sometimes she'll call the rows, sometimes she doesn't. So I feel like she needs to be a little bit more consistent with it because then maybe things will run a little bit more smoother than they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But
Consistency is key.
yes.
And
Consistency is key.
I wanted to say that, but I wasn't sure if that was like being like overstepping or something,
Oh
but
no.
consistency is key. Like if you keep doing it,
Mhm.
it does wonders.
Mm,
Yes. Do we have to read like what I wrote for this last part, or do we just fill it out? I
I
feel I
don't,
feel like we like did everything.
I
yeah,
feel like we already did that basically.
we kind of did the questions and feedback together. So
Yeah.
just kind of putting it in that box. But um
So are we good?
I'm trying to see what this last box is real quick. Actionable steps. So I guess like maybe just when we get off, we
I think
just
that's just your own, yeah. Just write like your own reflection.
yeah, it's just like maybe like, oh, the feedback they gave me, I should try this or
Yeah.
that. So okay. Do you think
Cool.
I'm good to stop recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.